Ramesh, a middle-aged bus conductor, and Shankar, a cheerful bus driver, had been working together on the same route for 20 years. Their lives had become predictable, comfortable, and routine. Ramesh knew every passenger by face and name. He knew where they would sit and when they would get off. Everything in his life seemed perfectly in place, simple and manageable. But one day, everything changed when a new passenger boarded the bus. A tall, muscular Pathan, about 6'6", with a broad build and an imposing presence, stepped on. His air of authority was evident as he wore a kurta pajama and a brown turban. The atmosphere on the bus shifted instantly, and all eyes turned to him. Ramesh, who was always calm and composed, felt an unfamiliar twitch of nervousness. He had seen all kinds of passengers over the years, but this one was different. As the bus rolled along its route, Ramesh, trying to keep his usual routine, approached the Pathan and asked, "Ticket, please." His voice trembled slightly. The Pathan, in a deep, firm voice, replied, "Pathan doesn't buy a ticket." Ramesh, caught off guard and a little embarrassed, stepped back. The passengers glanced around curiously, but no one intervened. Life on the bus continued, but Ramesh could feel the shift in his own confidence. Over the next few days, this same scenario played out. Ramesh would timidly ask the Pathan for a ticket, and the answer would always be the same: "Pathan doesn't buy a ticket." As time passed, Ramesh began to feel a change within himself. His confidence eroded. He could no longer command the same respect he once had. The refusal to buy a ticket made him feel small and weak, as if his authority as a conductor was being questioned. His sense of self-worth was chipped away with each passing day. The passengers, Ramesh felt, were silently judging his inability to assert control. One day, feeling completely overwhelmed, Ramesh confided in his old friend Shankar. "I can't take it anymore," he said, frustration in his voice. "I'm taking 3 months off. Something's wrong inside, and I need to fix it." Shankar, though concerned, was supportive. "Do what you need to do, my friend," he said, not fully understanding the depth of Ramesh's struggle. Ramesh spent the next 3 months working on himself. He joined a gym to get into better shape, signed up for self-defense and martial arts classes, and attended personality development workshops. Every day was a challenge, but Ramesh was determined to rebuild his confidence. He pushed himself, both physically and mentally, to become stronger from the inside out. When the 3 months were up, Ramesh returned to work, no longer the timid and unsure conductor. He was stronger, his posture straighter, and his mind sharper. He felt a renewed energy within him. He was just ready to face the Pathan again. He was ready to confront the weakness that had overtaken him. A few days later, the Pathan boarded the bus again. As usual, a hush fell over the passengers. They glanced at each other, wondering what would happen next. But this time, Ramesh walked over with new confidence. Standing tall, he said, "Ticket please," in a firm, steady voice, looking the Pathan directly in the eyes. The Pathan, as ever, responded in his usual tone. Pathan doesn't buy a ticket. But Ramesh wasn't backing down this time. He crossed his arms and asked, "Why doesn't Pathan buy a ticket? Everyone else does." The Pathan looked at him, a small smile playing on his lips. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a small card, and handed it to Ramesh. "Because I have an All India government bus pass," he said. "That's why Pathan doesn't buy a ticket." The bus fell silent for a moment. Ramesh stared at the card in his hand, confused, and then it hit him. All the tension, the frustration, the feeling of being disrespected, all seemed so insignificant now. The Pathan wasn't trying to undermine him. He was simply following the rules in his own way. As Ramesh stood there, holding the All India government bus pass, everything became clear. The anxiety he had felt, the self-doubt, and the imagined humiliation, it was all unnecessary. The problem had been in his mind. His perception had blown the situation out of proportion. The story of Ramesh and the Pathan teaches us an important lesson. We often let small problems grow into massive ones in our minds, making them much bigger than they really are. Like Ramesh, we sometimes imagine that challenges are insurmountable, even when they are easily solvable, with a calm and clear mind. True strength doesn't come from physical power alone. It comes from mental clarity, self-belief, and the ability to face situations head-on without letting fear or insecurity cloud our judgment. When we approach challenges with confidence, humility, and calm, we realize that many of the obstacles we worry about are not as difficult as they seem. So, remember this: never think you are weak. The true measure of strength is not in how we respond to external challenges, but in how we handle them with poise and self-assurance. And always remember, the problems in our minds are often much bigger than those in reality.